Well, hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be talking all about shaving your face to remove peach fuzz. I get a lot of questions about this. Is it safe? What are the side effects? Who should do it? Who shouldn't do it? How to do it? I'm going to be covering all of that in today's video. The medical term for peach fuzz is vellus hair. Everybody has vellus hair. It covers our entire body. It's that kind of downy, well, peach fuzz. This differs from terminal hairs, which are long, coarse. Many people are motivated to remove their peach fuzz off of their face because it helps their makeup go on more evenly, prevents it from looking cakey, and they've heard that it can exfoliate the skin. Shaving the face is something that you can do at home with a razor. This differs in contrast to dermaplaning, which is something that you would have done either by an esthetician or a dermatologist, in which rather than a razor, we actually take a sterile scalpel to remove the hair, as well as some of the top dead layer of the skin known as the stratum corneum. This is part of how this practice smooths out this top surface of the skin, kind of exfoliating it. Dermaplaning is going to cost you a couple $100 depending on where you live. Shaving your face, inexpensive and something you can do at home yourself. In contrast to dermaplaning, you're not going to get as smooth or as even an exfoliation of that top dead layer, but you will get removal of peach fuzz and you will get some exfoliation. When you get dermaplaning, a professional is doing it to you. They shouldn't nick or cut you. That's just bad form. As opposed to shaving your face at home, many people, accidentally nick and cut themselves. So later in the video, I'm going to explain how to do it to minimize those risks. With either shaving your face or dermaplaning, not only does your makeup go on more evenly, but your skincare products will penetrate the skin more evenly and a little bit deeper because they don't have that bumpy, lumpy, dead, clumped up skin cell layer to kind of navigate their way through. Probably the biggest misconception that I hear is that shaving your face will make the hair grow back thicker, coarser, or faster. That's not true at all, nor will it make more hair grow. The act of shaving your face does not impact the hair growth cycle at all. When you shave peach fuzz off, it's not going to grow back faster, it's not going to darken the peach fuzz, and it's not going to grow back thicker. When you shave terminal hair, you do end up getting stubble, and the reason for this is not because shaving impacts the hair growth cycle or the thickness of the hair. It's because shaving creates a blunt cut. Normally, the hair grows out of the hair follicle and is tapered at the end. But when you create that blunt cut, as it's growing out, it's flat on the top and not tapered, so you feel stubble. But that's not gonna happen with peach fuzz. It's too downy, it's too delicate. As opposed to terminal hairs, you will get stubble. But to be clear, shaving either peach fuzz or terminal hairs, it does not impact hair thickness or the rate of hair regrowth, and it doesn't make more hair grow. Side effects that can happen with shaving your face include irritation. This is probably one of the most common side effects that you're going to encounter. Remember, as you are removing that top dead layer of the skin, that's actually going to allow for more water to exit the skin, making you more vulnerable to dryness and irritation. And if you put skincare products on immediately after, depending on what they contain, it can increase irritation even further. And the irritation that you might experience with shaving the face, whether it be removing peach fuzz or terminal hairs, can make you break out, can lead to acne-like breakouts, and it can cause ingrown hairs, which are really uncomfortable to deal with. I don't recommend shaving the face if you have eczema, if you have rosacea, or if you have very sensitive skin, because it is going to lead to more water loss out of the skin. It does put you at risk for irritation. That commonly does occur. And if you have these skin issues, that's not going to help you out long term. It's going to end up causing problems. If you have acne, be very careful and do realize that the act of shaving, while it does allow for a little bit of exfoliation, the irritation that you develop from shaving, it certainly can cause more acne flares. It doesn't mean you can't do it, but just be mindful of these risks. Tips for shaving peach fuzz. Do use a facial shaver. They make facial shavers specifically for removing peach fuzz. They're a lot easier to maneuver and they're less likely to lead to nicks, cuts, and irritation. But do use a new razor. Don't use a razor that's been sitting out that you've used before. After you use a razor, it loses its sharpness, it becomes dull, and that puts you more at risk for little tiny nicks, micro tears that ultimately lead to even more irritation and skin problems. Peach fuzz grows pretty slowly. This isn't something that you're gonna need to do on a daily basis, like somebody who shaves terminal hair. Dull or dirty blades put you at more risk for irritation, ingrown hairs, and little nicks and cuts because they don't smoothly glide over the surface of the skin. They're more likely to get caught up in the grooves and crevices of your skin. And of course, the contours of the face. How to do it. Start off by washing your face. This achieves two things. First of all, it removes dirt, oil, impurities from the surface of the skin that your razor would otherwise kind of trip up on and make more irritation, cuts, micro trauma, etc. And the other reason to wash your face first is that it softens the hair and makes it easier to cut. After you rinse the skin of the cleanser, then you want to make sure you apply a shave gel or a shaving cream to lubricate the surface of the skin and reduce the risk of nicks and cuts from the razor. It's really popular to do dry shaving. I see this a lot on TikTok, or somebody will just dampen their skin and they won't use a shave gel or a shave cream. I don't know if they're only doing this to help their viewers see that they're removing hair, you know, for that visual impact, but definitely don't do that. Just use a shaving gel or a shaving cream. You don't need a ton of product. So don't skip out on that step. My favorite shave gel cream is the Aveeno Therapeutic Shave Gel. I will link it down below. The technique of shaving your face is really important. Don't do it in a hurry. If you are pressed for time, then don't shave your face. Wait till you have time to go slowly. When you shave your face, tilt the handle of the razor 45 degrees to take short, light strokes. I see people pressing down really firmly, and that ends up being too close for comfort, quite literally, leading to more irritation, redness, and razor burn. I mean, that's really where you end up putting yourself at risk for razor burn. And you also want to shave in the direction of hair growth. This reduces irritation and it reduces ingrown hair formation. If you need to, it's okay to pull the skin taut to reduce tugging of the razor blade on the skin. Anywhere where you have kind of a little bit of loose skin, then you definitely can do that. Again, take your time. Do not rush through this. If you rush, you're more likely to cut yourself or to develop irritation from the razor blade. And then after you have shaved your face, rinse off the shaving residue and then immediately apply a moisturizer to the skin, actually while it's still damp. This is gonna help a lot because you've just shaved, you've just exfoliated the skin. It's gonna lose more water. That leads to dryness, irritation, flares of acne, all these kinds of problems. So rather than patting the skin dry, rather than putting on some scented aftershave, just put on a basic plain moisturizer. This will help you out a lot. And that goes for shaving anywhere. Anywhere you choose to shave the body, follow these steps actually, because it will reduce the risk of irritation, ingrown hairs, shave bumps, razor burn, etc. This is another important thing that I think a lot of people make the mistake of. They're doing this a lot of times to smooth out the surface of the skin to allow for better penetration of their skincare products. But immediately after you have shaved and applied the moisturizer, you're done with your skincare routine at that point. Don't put any active ingredients on. Why? Because the skin is kind of recovering from that exfoliation from the razor and you are more vulnerable to irritation at that point. So you don't want to put your retinoid on. You don't want to put any hydroxy acids on, like alpha hydroxy acids, glycolic, lactic, mandelic, or beta hydroxy acid, salicylic acid, because it can just be too intense. And again, removing peach fuzz by shaving the face, it's not going to be an everyday occurrence. It's something that you're only going to do maybe every other week at the most. All right, so while you may end up being a little bit more prone to razor burn if you're someone who is using a retinoid, retinol, or a hydroxy acid on a consistent basis as part of your skincare routine, shaving the face actually might end up being a better way to remove hair for you. Why? Well, the other alternatives are things like waxing, plucking, and those kind of rip off some of the top dead layer of the skin. And if you are already using exfoliating ingredients on a consistent basis, a problem you can run into when you wax is that it ends up pulling off too much skin and you get an erosion, pulls off too much skin. That also can happen if you are on Accutane. We caution people who are on Accutane to not go for a wax because of this risk. Even threading can be too irritating in those cases of using a retinoid or using Accutane. I've got videos describing the benefits of laser hair removal to remove hair, but you'll recall from those videos, laser hair removal doesn't work on peach fuzz, so it's really not an option. I also prefer shaving over using a chemical depilatory, but chemical depilatories, while they're a great option, they include things like Nair, for example, they have an ingredient in them, thioglycolates, that dissolves keratin. And keratin makes up your hair, but also makes up your skin. So while they're going to town chewing up the hair, they also cause a lot of irritation of the skin. And I happen to think personally, if you follow the steps that I've outlined here, that shaving the face is less likely to cause skin problems in comparison to using a chemical depilatory. All right, so that's everything about shaving your face to remove peach fuzz. Let me know in the comments, do you shave your face? Side note, I fired up my new Tuscany candle, jack-o'-lantern candle that I bought this weekend. Loving it, smells pumpkin-y. We're getting a lot of rain here today, and it's kind of gloomy, so this candle is really setting the mood off. All right guys, so that's everything about shaving your face to remove peach fuzz. On the end slate, I'm gonna put a link to a video on 10 ways to remove unwanted hair, so check that out if this is something that you are thinking about doing. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.